What up? It's Guru JoJo, and in this particular video, I'm going to be speaking about rainbows. What are rainbows? We speak about what rainbows are on a more physical level, spiritual level, metaphysical level. Spiritually speaking, rainbows represent some sort of luck and abundance, right? There is a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. Really what's going on is it's an expression of abundance because there's a reflection of emotions. There's a reflection of feelings. Feelings are within the water element. The water element is undefined. When you bring light, fire element, light is fire, right? When you're bringing light to the feelings, the deeper parts of the self, that's not so readily available to emote, to express, to show out to the world. But when that's being reflected in such a way in which it's showing that there's all possibilities of emotional expression. So this allows for anybody to be able to be relatable to the vibration. That's why it's kind of connected to Jupiter and Neptune, because Neptune and Jupiter, Neptune represents being very, very intuitive and empathetic and compassionate with others, basically. So the ability to take on any emotional vibration pretty much. And then Jupiter is luck and abundance, because of like a particular message could be conveyed, and in this message is also similar to Neptune, it's not completely definable. So that's really what's happening. It's creating an expression of all possibilities are here, right? Because it's showing all colors, basically. That's what's going on. So really the reason why a rainbow is connected to the vibration of luck and abundance is because you're targeting a lot of vibrations. There's an expression of being able to connect with more. And when that happens, you increase the likelihood of being able to hit a target. Like, it's just common sense. It's just common statistics. You know what I'm saying? The more energy that you're being connected to, then the more likely you are to be able to hit a target. But the more likely you're able to really like break down if shit goes wrong. So, but that's the expression of the rainbow. It's an expression of defining the undefinable through many possibilities. And this is derived from basically alchemy. Now, physically speaking, what's happening when you see a rainbow is there's some sort of condensed air, right? So think of, there's a lot of clouds, it's humid out, and it ends up raining as a result. So you got the air element, you got the water element, and then light, right? The sun comes out like moments after it rains. The light from the sun reflects through the water. So you're giving color, you're showing some sort of emotional vibration through the feelings, which would be the water element. So that's what's happening. It's basically just light being reflected off of a water droplet, and then usually there's some sort of dark vibration around it too. So it could be like a shady area, or it can be the, what do you call it, like the black top, I think it's called, like the street, the dark pavement, like around somewhere, and then that's what causes the rainbow to be shown. Basically that's what's happening. So it's just a good combination of elements. The earth element, which would be like the dark pavement, and like just like the grass and all that stuff is all important too. And then you got the water element from the rain, right? You got the condensed air, and then you got the light from the sunlight, which would be the fire element. Basically what's happening when somebody sees a rainbow, it gives off a vibe of happiness, because you're able to see the possibilities. The possibilities are expanded, and this helps to make someone feel a little bit better, so because it broadens your scope, your perspective. So if you're a person who only sees things so narrowly or something like that, or only like very black and white thinking. This puts limits on the ability to perceive, to sense the truth in life's possibilities, and the expression of a rainbow gives off a vibe of happiness and pleasure because it gives off a sense of there's more possibilities to this life. That's what's happening. So that's why it's a representation for abundance and luck, because obviously luck has to do with being able to perceive the possibilities. As the possibilities are expanded, then you are in the vibration of luck. It's like the same thing as like a jar. You have like, back in the day they gave a little jar example, like on an exam or something. Oh, there's 5 red candies, 6 blue candies, 3 yellow candies. Which one are you more likely to pick? Like, you're more likely to pick the one that has more in it. And that's the rainbow. It's like an expression of having more possibilities because you're showing all these colors. But you see how on the same token, the more colors that's being expressed, then the less likely too you are of picking a specific color. So the expression of the rainbow is only really beneficial. You're only able to perceive it in a beneficial and positive way, in expression of happiness, if you're able to be satisfied with any color. You get it? So as you are happy with anything, I don't want to say that you don't have any standards, but it is essentially what's happening, because that's the reason why people that are very empathetic, they could seem to have like no standards or something like that. It's like, oh, you went for that? Like, where's your standards at? But when you understand that life, when you understand that there's a gift to anything, basically, like everything's a gift. Same thing like what I say, the lesson is what's important, because nothing is really just like a blessing that you think is going to be. Like, people think you just do stuff and you're just supposed to manifest good opportunities and stuff. No, a lot of things are bad, but you're supposed to learn from these experiences. And not all teachers and stuff, you're supposed to follow that person. You're not always supposed to be like that person. You're supposed to see what's important in a circumstance. Some teachers are here for you to learn what not to do a lot of the time. And so that's the thing, is when you're able to actually see the colors and everything, when you're able to actually see what auras are important and stuff, it's where you start to actually become more successful. So it really just depends on what you pay attention to. Do you pay attention to the right content? What do you pay attention to within content? And then also too, this is the way people see psychology on you, to see what you pay attention to. They can see what you've watched. They can see what you do in your life because of what you pay attention to. It's very simple. A lot of times people make mistakes though, because they think they're a lot better than they are, and people can see that's what you're doing. They start to manipulate you. But that's when you get into like, the revelation cycles and stuff. But I feel like I'm getting off topic. My whole point in this video is that a rainbow is an expression of happiness, luck, and abundance, because what you are perceiving is the possibilities of life. Your scope opens up, helps to motivate people, because when you're able to see all these colors, all these possibilities, you're able to see essentially a broader dynamic of what you can come into, and then this helps to make you feel like moving forward with your life. So it's an expression of spirit in a sense, that's what's happening. So the reason why it's connected to things like the LGBT community and whatnot, this is because you're saying that there's no limits in love. Basically, that's what it's saying, because you're taking this vibration, you're putting it into the frequency of attraction and love. So you're basically saying that I'm willing to attract anything, almost, in a sense, is what's going on. So I've said this in previous videos where I speak about homosexuality and astrology. What's happening is a lot of people that are attracted to the same sex, they are more fluid in See, so this gets deep because what's happening is they're fluid in the way that they're perceiving people, but also obviously people that are more like specific on their standards and whatnot. I don't want to get too off topic, so you know what, I'll get into that in another video. But basically for the rainbow thing, that's what's happening. It's basically saying that things are becoming very blended, and it's also a vibration of being, what's that word, extra. I forgot the word I'm trying to say, but it's an expression of being extra, being very vibrant. And being very vibrant, it's kind of like being odd and eccentric in a sense, because you're like standing out in some way. So the reason why the rainbow is probably connected to the LGBT community is because it's an expression of looking forward. So obviously the LGBT community at a particular point in time felt a sense of limitation. So basically a rainbow is an expression of the opposite of what that particular group of people were experiencing. Most likely that's probably the reason why. Now, I haven't looked this up. I really don't know, exactly why, besides the fact I understand astrologically speaking, we're speaking about the unseen. Anything that's unseen is always connected to rainbow vibrations, because again, this means the possibilities are endless. So the rainbow is almost like a self-medicating way of expressing the self, because you're basically saying, within this dark vibration of limitation, there's the light at the end of the tunnel. That's why it rains. That's the expression of pain coming down, and then there's the light that comes after. It's connected to that type of concept. So that's most likely why the rainbow's connected to that. The rainbow's connected to many other things too. Like I've said, it's connected to your imagination, because your imagination has to do with a dark vibration in which you can color that in with anything, any possibility. See? So that's really what's going on. So yeah, that's basically what the rainbow represents. I explained it metaphysically. That's the deeper components I explained about it, and I also explained about it spiritually. It represents luck and abundance. And then physically, how I said what happens with the condensed air, the rain, and then the sunlight, reflecting off of the raindrops, plus the earth element being there, like the dark pavement and whatnot, causes the rainbow to appear. So boom, thank you for watching. Blessings, light, and love. Please like, comment, share, subscribe if you enjoyed this video. Peace out.